Hi, Damien here from Zanda. In this video, I'm going to show you some basic setup steps. First of all, let's go to Settings and then go to Practice Business Information. Here you just want to make sure that your information is set up correctly. We will have got some of this information from the free trial form, but you just need to complete anything that might be missing. So your practice name, make sure that's correct. You select the practice type that you have, and you'll see here tax ID. This accounts for the US, so if you're in a different country, you'll see some slightly different options here, both for tax ID and down here for NPI number and taxonomy code. Don't worry if they look different on your screen. Select the country, your time zone, and then also your preferred time format, so whether that's 12-hour or 24 hours. And finally, make sure that your locale is correct. Locale determines things like your currency. Just double check the email address, phone numbers and fax and so forth are correct. Once you're happy with that, just click Save and that is it. Next, we're going to go to Settings and we're going to look at Locations. So locations refer to where you practice from, and you'll see here we've got 3 locations listed. You'll see also that we have color, and the color indicates what they will look like on your calendar. So it makes it easy to see where you're rostered at a given time. So you can either add a location by clicking here, or you can edit an existing location. In this case, I'm going to show you an existing location so you can see how it looks when all filled out. At the top, you'll have the location name, then location type. The options here include in-person, telehealth, and phone. By setting that, it tells the system to automatically book when an appointment's made at that location, to automatically include the modality. And in the case of, for instance, telehealth video call, it ensures that if you are sending out or you're sending out reminders and you want to merge in the telehealth link information for the client, this will happen automatically. Okay, just check that the email address, add your address details and so forth, and make sure if there are different phone numbers that you use at those locations, make sure they're updated. Now, it is important to get this information correct, because you'll have the option later to use this information in merges when you're creating communication templates. So if you ensure that you've got the right details at this point of the setup, then it'll make it easier later on if you want to merge, for instance, information like, say, location notes. If you want to put instructions on car parking or maybe a code for the front door or something, you can actually include these in location notes and merge them into communication templates later on. The other thing I'll just point out here is that you have the option to put extra invoice text. Sometimes there's a need to put additional information that only appears for certain locations, and you want that to appear on the invoice. This is where you would add it, and that will automatically appear on any invoices you generate in relation to that location. Finally, if you're in the US, you'll see this insured place of service. That won't appear if you're operating an account in a different region. Once you have all that set up and you're happy with it, just click on Save. That's it. If we have a look how that appears in the calendar, you can actually see that these different backgrounds here, the different background colors, indicate the different locations. You can also see that if you select to make an appointment at a location, then it will automatically, let's say I want to add in an appointment for John Smith, who seems to be having a lot of appointments here. You can see that that will automatically make that appointment an in-person appointment, so you don't see the little telehealth logo that appears if they were at a telehealth location. Okay, finally we're going to do some basic setup for communication options. So went to Settings, Communication, and we're going to click on Communication Options. Here you have the option to set a phone number that you would like SMS replies to be forwarded to. So let's say you send out a reminder to a client. The client returns or replies something that's unusual. So instead of saying yes or no to confirm an appointment, perhaps they send back something a little bit different. You have the option for the system to forward that reply it'll come into the system, of course, but you can also have that sent and forwarded to an external mobile. So perhaps you have a practice mobile or cell phone. Alternatively, you can also configure in a different area of the system, which we'll show you, but you can configure to send those text messages to an individual practitioner. So let's say an appointment reminder was sent out, someone replied to that, and you want that reply to go to the practitioner instead, you can actually set that up in the practitioner settings. Okay, next option we have here is to merge the client's time zone in client communications. What this means, instead of using your time zone when sending out appointment reminders, it will work out the time zone for that client. So if your clients happen to live in different time zones to your practice, it will ensure that the right time zone is used when sending those appointment reminders, which is fantastic. It prevents confusion over timing of appointments. Finally, you can enable client form authentication. So that means if you're sending out a form, and you can send it out via email or mobile, then when this is turned on, it will require the client to enter some information to verify it's them before they access the form. Finally, just make sure that your business email address and name are correct, and this is how you'd like them to show up. We actually use these settings to send communication to do ensure that they're okay. You also have some options here to configure the email that is used or the template that's used if you're emailing either forms out or emailing notes out. So it means that the template can be written, prepared, and when you send it, that will be used. Next up, we have an option around dedicated SMS number. So the way that this works in the US, there is a legal requirement for practices to utilize, not just practices, it's actually across all businesses, to use SMS that are allocated and assigned to their business. So we can actually help you do that. We can take care of that for you. You just need to click on here to apply for a dedicated number, and that will then step you through the process. It's quite straightforward, but in the US there are the regulations that require that. Finally, I'll just scroll down the bottom down here. You can set up the email server that's used for sending communications by default, and most people just leave it to use the Zanda's default server, but you do have the option to link custom servers or Gmail or Microsoft. That's it. Once you're happy with that, just click save, and that is done. That's all for this video. Join us for the next video in our series, and once again, it's great to have you as part of the Zanda family.